We right back here live from Serenity Lounge. I got a very, very special guest in the building. Something like a legend. You don't know, you gonna find out today.
Something like a legend.
Something like a legend. Yeah, I ain't gonna throw too much. I'm gonna let you tell them exactly what it is. Basically, a real legend, a living legend. You know what I mean? The only legend, the biggest legend, I would say. He go by the name of Pimpin Ken. Y'all show some love for Pimpin Ken. How you doing, brother? Man, it's a pleasure. First of all, to have you here on this platform this day and to come out for me, you know what I mean? And you do it. So I really appreciate it, man. Brother, but I appreciate it. Before we get started though, for the people out there that don't know, how did you come up with the name Pimpin Ken? Where did that come?
Actually, that's not my name.
Okay.
So I did a show called Pimps Up Hold Down. You might have been a kid when that was in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the producer decided to call me Pimpin Ken.
Oh, okay.
And so I went out to Las Vegas to a Mike Tyson fight. When I was at the fight, everybody ran up to me and said, Pimpin Ken, Pimpin Ken. I'm like, it was Pimpin Ken, and all the rappers started wanting me to get on their albums, and they all started calling me Pimpin Ken, so I just ran with the name.
That's dope.
You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't know that, man. That's why I'm
I was always Ken Ivy. HBO called me Pimpin Ken.
For real?
That wasn't my street name.
So
it became my street name after the movie.
Speaking of the movie, how did that come about? Like, how did you get on there?
Well, at the time I was young, I was like one of the biggest in the country. I was winning all the trophies, Mac of the Year, Hustler of the Year, Player of the Year. And so I was in Chicago with Bishop Don Juan and Ice-T. And they said, man, come back next year. So I came back next year. We was at the East of the Rhine on the South Side. They had cameras and shit everywhere. I thought, hey, man, get that camera out my face. I don't do that. I was still in the streets. So the dude said, man, I'm Fred Owens. I'm from HBO. I said, HBO who? I said, real HBO? I said, I didn't talk to you. Tell them Milwaukee. So he came to Milwaukee. And, I had the big clothing store downtown. One of the biggest clothing stores in the city, selling all the hip-hop gear back in the day. So I took them to my store. And they seen how big it was. They seen I was a businessman. And they wanted to talk business. So I told them, I said, I'll do it under these pretense. The movie have to end with me. They got to give me credits in the movies, and I have to be a consultant. And I want more money than everybody that y'all pay for this movie. Otherwise, I don't want to do it. And so he said, the audacity of you to say you want more money than everybody. I said, no, man. I said, man, because if I get caught up, and I have to go to jail for put my name out here, put my business out here like that, I said, I'm going to need lawyer fees. And so he understood what I was saying. So he gave me a whole lot of money. And I said, one more. I said, I want to film my movie. So the movie Pimpology, which your people can go show on Instagram, on YouTube for free. Just go to YouTube, type in Pimpology, Pimpin Ken. It's free. So that movie, I wanted to shoot my movie at the time. Yeah. At that time, it was very expensive, so I think they were spending about $300,000 shooting my movie while they were shooting their movie. It wasn't no DVDs; it was all cameras and stuff like that. But I had a lot of money back then, so I shot my movie, and thank God I did because I got a deal with Script Masters.
Okay,
I don't know if you remember back on BET, they had me on TV 10 times a day talking about my movie. Pimpology, go get the Pimpology movie. Yeah. But that was Script Master had gave me the distribution. So they went full throttle on BET, and it was like the movie became a classic. Then it went to DVD. So I didn't have a distribution because DVDs went out yet. So I was able to legally do another distribution with Mike Walker from Southern Music Distribution down here. So I had a DVD, I had a VHS and a DVD distribution deal at the same time. And
killing them.
Yeah, and so the DVDs it just exploded. And so people see me selling DVDs out the truck, right?
Right.
That's how I get the idea. I told them I wanted 1,000 DVDs. They gave me 1,000 DVDs. That was the first time it came out. So I went to the other Mike Tyson fight. I started selling DVDs out the truck. I made so much money that I never stopped.
Never stopped selling them.
Never stopped.
Now, I actually bought all of the DVDs that you.
Everybody bought them. The whole city. If you're from Milwaukee, you can't say you ain't never bought a DVD.
You're right.
You can.
Right.
And the homies liked that because they was like, man, dude on TV, he a superstar, but he's still out here with us on the block riding through the hood. You know, so the people, they weren't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? That was a novelty at the time. So, you know what I'm saying? But I was making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? People was feeling sorry for me, but y'all didn't have to feel sorry for me because every time I sell 100 DVDs, I made $2,000. I was selling 200-300 DVDs. I was making $6,000 a day in Milwaukee. You know, so that's why people say, why you still, I can't stop. There's so much money in it, I just can't stop.
That's what put you on.
I mean, it beyond put me on, send my kids to college. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I bought 1,000 DVDs and, so, I mean, I bought 5,000 DVDs. I sold them at $20 a piece. I sold them like in about 2 months. I made 100,000 in 2 months selling DVDs out the truck. Because everybody knew me, you know, so I would give them to take a picture. And then it was my movie, so I had my other commercial, I had my clothing line in there, I had all the shit I was doing, website. So it was a good hustle back in the day.
Yeah. No, it still is today. So, how did you get so famous? How did you get so popular?
Some hoes out. The movie.
The movie.
It was seen by 1 billion people. It had over 1 billion views.
So you actually got here in the street and pushed it and put it out so everybody.
No, HBO blew me up. I capitalized off the blow up.
They kept going.
So I started hustling. Next thing you know, Jermaine Dupri got me on his album. 50 Cent got me in his video.
Lil Jon
got me on his album. I was on Pastor Troy album, Mac 10.
Everybody, bro. 50 Cent
came. I mean, just thousands of people. All the rappers, all the independent rappers was paying me. I could go through a hood and all the independent rappers give me $1,000. I used to go to the hood and just line them up. Get $10,000-$20,000 out the hood just doing intro.
That's crazy. How did you get a grasp up on the culture so early? Like, what was it like with the game that kind of made you gravitate and just grab the culture so early?
Because Jermaine Dupri did a song with me. Once Jermaine Dupri did the song with me in 2000, and Outkast did the So Precious So Clean. If you go see the BET Award, the first BET tour, that's me on stage with the one suit with Outkast. So once I got connected with them brothers, everybody just started bombarding me, nailing everybody. So I was a businessman, so I capitalized on it. And I started marketing the name Pimpin. I made it a household name, right?
Yeah. That's dope.
So, and I understood the music because I'm sitting down, I'm doing business with every record label because I'm on the album. So they have to go, they have to sign me, I have to get my publishing.
Right.
So, I'm talking to them and I'm learning the business. So I'm sitting here with these business tycoons, Universal, TVT Records, Sony Music, Jive. I'm doing business with all these executives. I'm just listening to them and I'm a player. So I'm sucking up games. So I said, oh, okay, this is how this goes.
And you start using it.
Yeah, I started using it to my benefit.
That's cold-blooded. You cold-blooded for that. So now you have signed a couple of artists. You have formed a couple of different coalitions or organizations. Talk about those right now for the people that don't know. Like, what are some of the things that you have?
So my son was down here. I said all my kids went to college except for one. So I was sending my kids to college all over the country. And then my son, I sent him to LA to be an actor because he gonna play me in my upcoming movie called The Lifestyle. Like DMF, my son gonna play by six. So my son is a serious actor. You might have seen him in that thing, All American. That's my son, number 14. Ken Tree. Then I sent my other son to school because I want to get the music industry. Okay. So I sent him down there, to learn engineering and all that. So while he was down here, they was taxing me. You probably taxed $50 for a show. I ain't kept but they would tax them, they taxing me because I had to.
You had to benefit, yeah.
So I said, man, I'm gonna go out of Atlanta. I'm gonna disrupt the entire industry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finna do this with me and Pimp C was talking about, form a coalition. Remember Pimp C said he got to form a coalition? Uh-huh. Me and Pimp C, he the one really started. Then Ice-T kind of gave me the idea because he had something called Rap Coalition. It was similar to the hip hop fraternity. So he broke it down to me. He said, man, Ken, this is what you got to do. So, going off the advice that I got from Ice-T and the knowledge that I had of the business industry, I said, okay, this is how we're going to do it. Yeah. Ice-T started the rap coalition. And so he put me up on it. He told me how they was doing and everything. So, I came down here to ATL to disrupt the industry. And then I called Ice-T. I said, I'm going to start a hip-hop fraternity. This how you do it. He became my first member. Yeah. He also became the advisor for the organization. So that's how the hip-hop fraternity got started. And, it was based on, our culture, our call, because we got culture folks. We got people that come in and have robbed the culture. So we started our own magazine, HHF Magazine, HHF Radio, HHF on social media, HHF clothing. That's the jackets you see with people wearing, HHF awards, because we wanted to give our own accolades. And, HHF Films. So I signed Boosie to a book deal. I got HHF Literary Agency. So Boosie signed to me. Ice-T signed to me. Rick Ross signed to my film company. So we got films with Ice-T and Boosie, myself and Pimp C, and Rick Ross coming out. So, what I'm saying? It was just something to let the young people know that we have to take advantage of our situation. We have to come together as a collective. We tried everything but unity. So unifying the game and putting everybody under the umbrella of hip hop, then that way we can better position ourselves towards the record labels, position ourselves, with other, different corporations that are interested in our culture, like the NFL, got halftime with Jay-Z, Kanye with Adidas, P. Diddy before he got locked up with Ciroc. Right. So they don't have no buffer. We're the buffer. We're the one that's going to be negotiating those deals. And if they don't give us a deal, we'll have our own clothing. If you don't want to give us, our young people, a shared equity portion of the deals, then we're going to create our own thing. We're going to create our own magazine. We're going to create our own clothing. Now I'm in the process of creating a distribution that's going to give artists, not 0.1%, but if they sell a song, they're going to give $1. And you're going to connect it to the AI. It's going to be connected to the blockchain. We're going to tokenize it. And we're going to also create micropayments, and have it fractionalized where you can distribute it, to the artists and to the people that's actually curating it simultaneously.
You talking about artists under you?
Any artist, what I'm saying? We're going to be working with some of the major artists and tell them, we're going to have our own distribution. Yeah, we could disrupt the entire music industry. HHF music.
That's dope. So, I get it now. I figured it out. I done figured it out. So, you really is taking over the culture.
Yeah, it's our culture, our call. So we're taking it over because we understand that most of the minerals that comes out the mouth by children, which is gold and silver and oil, is coming out the crevice of the ghetto. Right? But we selling our minerals, but we're not refining them. Yeah. So what happens is the artists end up getting 15% of the royalties, but the record get 85% of the royalties. And then they got to pay 50% of the production. The production of the video. So you pay a video costs $1 million, you pay $500,000 for the video, but you only get $150,000 off of every million. How many records do you have to sell in order to get, you have to sell at least $4 million worth of records. You have to go 4 times platinum in order to be able to, sell at least $4 million worth of records to be able to get that payment. And then you got to do another video because you got another single. You got to do another video. So now the artist end up selling pieces of his publishing or his master in order to keep his image up.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? You have a Bentley, you got to have a crib, you know what I'm saying? You got to have the jewels, you got to have the entourage, and that's what's screwing our young men. So we're telling them quit reading the compensation of the contract and start reading the obligation. You know what I'm saying? Understand what your IP is, understand the blockchain, understand what we're creating. We're creating a situation with XRP and XRPL and Ripple and Coinbase where you can actually get the majority of your money. And you can get it in Nigerian, you can get it in Mandarin, you can get it under any form of currency because crypto is a one world payment and it's decentralized.
Yeah.
Where there's no government, there's no business, nothing like that. So we're doing at the hip hop fraternity, you know what I'm saying? We just educating our people. We're throwing an alarm clock in the graveyard, and we tell them, you know, you ain't got to tiptoe past the medicine cabinet because you want to wake up the sleeping pills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then let them know, like, look, man, as a collective, you know, here's what we can do. And we can do it strongly ourselves, and we got our own social media. So when IG ain't popping, when Facebook ain't popping, when WhatsApp popping, HHF got our own, so we built the app as well. You know what I'm saying? So you be able to access the app from Windows, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, any of the major platforms. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, you be able to set up your own platform, and we'll be selling the music directly from the app.
You be selling distributor. You are the distributor.
We their distributors. You know, we don't just discriminate. We sell anyone's music. Right. Because once they get on the platform, they're gonna be in the catalog, and people can purchase the music directly. But the good thing, we're gonna create a community for them as well, so they can hobnob with celebrities. They can kick it. They can go back and forth. They can DM each other, and you know, it's all concerning the culture. So we're the first ever hip hop social media. Hip hop fraternity. And we, you know, you've been on the site.
Yeah.
You go to hhfmag.com. Yeah. We just taking it from the site to the app.
Same thing.
Same thing, but you'll be able to do everything you can do on Instagram and on Facebook, and you'll be able to do it on a macro level. You know, right now we're doing it on a micro level.
That is smart.
That was the strategy, because you was the board member.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I know.
So it's always been in play. It's just that, you know, when God give you a vision, He don't give you the plan. Because if I would have knew all of the trials and tribulations I had to go through, brother Unsighted, you know, building this, going against family members. I got my own family members that went against me. I had my best friends that went against me. I had people that would shake my hand, the same hand they shake my head with, they were sticking a knife in my back. People started in my feet and they were ending up in my throat. They were trying to take me out, right? Right. But, you know what I'm saying? God is good, and I persevered, persistent without resistance. So I was able to get over that, and I understood that the only way to win is if I change my mentality, I could change my reality. If I change my attitude, I could change my aptitude. Yeah. So I just figured out how to navigate through that and how to maneuver around these type of things. You see what I'm saying? And I got people like Miss Contrice Dungala, you know what I'm saying, who's, you know, did mergers and acquisition to the tune of $27 billion. I got brothers like Brother Artis, you know, who's a paralegal that's down with me. You know what I'm saying? I got brothers, you know, that's in crypto, brothers that do applications, brothers that do AI, you know, great men and women, you know, that's very skillful. You know, I got people like Sister Mocha. So we got more. So in other words, if you got an artist and he's over there on the drop mic, right? He represent the artistry side of hip hop. That's the 10%. HHF, Hip Hop Fraternity, represent everything. The 90%. It's 90% business, 10% music. I don't rap, I don't act, I don't do nothing. Yeah. Most of my executives, we don't do no rapping or nothing. Right. But we represent the Universal, the Def Jam, the Columbia, the Sony Music side on the black hand side of it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, our culture, our cause. Right. So we represent that. That's ours. You know what I'm saying? No one has ever done that. No one has ever gave the business side from our culture perspective. You know what I'm saying? But they always said, I'm this record, I'm that record. And they go in there and then Universal handle their business. You know what I'm saying? Other ethnic groups handle their business. Culture vultures handle their business. And they end up missing a very, very, very essential part of the game. Right. Which is the money. So you got people that's been rapping for years and ain't got a pot to piss in. You got artists that's crying, talking about can you send me $50 so I can pay my light bill, my phone bill, and they just sold millions of records because they didn't understand business. So we giving the game the business side. You educate. Yeah, we giving the artists the business side. So when they come over here, they're gonna learn about cryptology. They're gonna learn about ASCAP, BMI, CSAC. They're gonna learn about cryptology. They're gonna learn about the blockchain. They're gonna learn about tokenization. They're gonna learn about all these things because we're gonna teach them the business, which is where they missing. So you got a class for the artists. No, I'm just saying we're the business side. With the artists and us, that's the 100% of hip hop. That's why it's hip hop fraternity. Right. It's the 100%. You got everybody know how to rap. Right. Everybody. But the rap is like being a rapper is like being a raindrop, and the tsunami or storm. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's a whole bunch of them. But here's the irony of that, right? When you look at it from a more intellectual standpoint, yes, they are the ones who make the music, but Jay-Z ain't made no money from rap.
Never.
Jay-Z, Louis Vuitton.
Right.
You know, Jay-Z, the Super Bowl, Jay-Z, Uber, right. Kanye, Adidas,
yeah.
you know, 50 Cent,
That's how they making money, yeah.
So they're making the money, but guess what they doing? They're pushing the culture.
Yeah.
They 1,000% of the influential side of the culture. They influencing the culture, but they only making a microscopic aspect of the money. It's like a net. You know, like a net is the smallest insect. They're making the smallest amount of money in the game. Yeah. The smallest amount of money in the game because they don't know no better. They didn't go to Harvard. They didn't go to Yale. They didn't go to Princeton. They didn't go to Columbia. They didn't go to Morehouse. They ain't went to Harvard. They ain't went to Harvard University. Right. They ain't been to a Harvard homecoming. So that's the travesty in the game. Right. So what we're saying is, look, y'all influence 1.8 billion. You know, it's 1.8 billion people listening to rap, right? Around the world. African Americans only 40%, or 15%, 40 million. And only 6% of that listen to music. You're talking about roughly about 2 to 3 million people that's actually African American that listen to hip hop. The majority of the music is being listened to 1.6 billion and some change people over in other countries. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? That means we influencing the entire world. Mm-hmm. We are American diplomacy. When you go over to another country, they ask about what? They ask about hip hop. Mm-hmm. Do you know Snoop Dogg? Mm-hmm. Do you know 50 Cent? This is what these foreigners asking Donald Trump. That's why he had Nelly, Snoop, yeah, and Rick Ross said it's inauguration. Yeah. See what I'm saying? We got to wake up to smell the coffee. You know, Snoop Dogg did what? The Olympics. Yeah. Jay-Z, he do the a halftime every year. Yeah. That's hip hop. So hip hop is the new Black Wall Street. Name any other sector within the African American community that created 5 billionaires. Nothing. Jay-Z, Kanye, you know the rest. Yeah. Dr. Dre. Yeah. There's no other experience, whether you went to Harvard, Yale, whether you was an engineer, whether you was a tech guy in Silicon Valley. There's nothing that created that many billionaires in the short span of time that it created. And hip hop is America's second largest export. They export more hip hop than any other goods in this country. You know, it's the second largest export. So that means what? That we are a very, very, very valuable commodity. So that being said, hip hop fraternity is here to bring all that into fruition and also bring the awareness of the culture to the people and understand, you know, this is how you put together. Right. You know, through unity. So we in 39 states now. We have over 40,000 followers now. We got 23 registered followers on our site. But you know, you know a lot of people that went there that didn't register. Yeah. They didn't get on the site, but they still signed up again. You got to sign up to come in. We got everybody's email. Right. And they are pledged members. Right.
No, it's dope. That's dope. So coming from that type of industry and building what you're building with the HHF and making that standpoint, what's next? What's next for HHF? What's next for artists to look out for when you're doing your thing, when you're popping your shit?
Okay, so basically HHF, we have our own social media. Mm-hmm. We have our own music distribution coming out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We have Mike Fresh. You know, he's one of the biggest artists out there on the independent side. You know, throw that ass in a circle. Yeah. So I signed him to the organization. We got 5 movies coming out. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
On a film side.
Yeah. We have the movie with Ice-T, the movie with Boosie, movie with myself, one with Rick Ross, and one with Pimp C. Okay. So that's 5 movies that's coming out. Okay. We got so many things coming out. The magazine, we restructured the magazine, restructured the radio. We got the award show coming up on April 4th. We're going to do it at KOD. We call it the KOD Convention Center. We did it last year. You know, it was a great turnout. Okay. You know, I'm waiting on my man to call me back. Finesse 2 times. We doing a song together. You know, we was just in Dallas. We was in Dallas. We finna do a song together. A lot of other artists, you know, been calling me, want to work with me. A lot of major artists want to, you know, get me to do the intro stuff. I really don't do that no more. But you know, the people that's calling me, they so big in the industry. You know,
you gotta do it.
It's gonna give me an opportunity to say hip hop eternity.
Right. So build that platform.
So as long as they let me say hip hop eternity, I say whatever on there.
I feel you. So if somebody wants to, two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want you to do before we get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There was once a young man in your shoes. There was once a person that probably been through what you've been through. If you had some type of words of advice, some words of encouragement, some words to kind of try to help them get through, what would those words be right now?
Well, young man, I'm gonna tell you, you know, you can't win an argument. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your emotions supersede your intelligence. You know, whenever somebody want to go at you, just fall back, right? Fall back. Because at the end of the day, you know, if you see two men arguing from a distance, you're going to call both of them a fool because at a distance you don't know who's the fool. So the best thing I can tell you is, man, you know, keep your circle small. I like to say, give me 4 quarters instead of 100 pennies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how small my circle is. And just realize, man, that whoever can do you good could also do you harm. Where there's the least appearance of evil, always expect the greatest amount of danger. You know, the people that smile in your face and start at your feet are generally the ones that's going to be the ones that take you out. So when I tell my kids, get rid of the dead weight, you know, in closing, I'm going to say the eagle is the most profound of the human birds. The eagle, when they see a pigeon, it flies away because he knows he's flying too low. Eagles fly high. When the eagle sees a storm, it goes into the storm and shoots straight into the storm and propel over the storm so it could be a little bit higher. When the eagle fly, he don't fly. He's so. When the eagle sees his prey, he can see it 1,000 miles away, and he beams down. He can see the chicken, the frog, everything. He goes on his prey and he grabs it, and he pulls it up with his claws. But the only flaw that the eagle has is when the eagle sees a weasel. He goes to the weasel, he go down, he grabs the weasel, he go up 10,000 feet, he ascend 10,000 feet, and then he descend 10,000 feet to his death. The problem was the eagle couldn't let go. You know, he couldn't let go. He didn't let the weasel go. So I'll tell you,
that's a game.
Let it go, bro. Let it go. Remember, it's okay to say goodbye. It's goodbye and goodbye. The word goodbye is good than the word goodbye. So that's what we have to understand is that, you know, keep your circle small. You know, don't argue with people. You can't win an argument. You know, never let your emotions supersede your intelligence. And always remember that you got an IQ and an EQ. IQ is your intelligence quotient. EQ is your emotional quotient. You got to be just as high on EQ as you is on IQ. And then there's another one called AQ. AQ is adaptability quotient. So as you become more equipped with your EQ and your IQ, you can back up on like the old days and I spin up off of it like the barcade.
You heard it here first, man. Live the Serenity Lounge. It's your boy on site.
You get my Instagram. Follow me at realpimpkin_, or if you want to join the HHF social media, hhfmag.com.
I was just going to ask you that too before we go, though. If somebody wants to book you, somebody want to get you out, somebody want to tap in with you, go ahead and tell them that right now.
Okay, well, if you want to book me, you can hit me up at 404-790-9627 for serious inquiries only. And, man, listen, you know, I'm down with who down with me, man.
You heard it here first, man. Live here, Serenity Lounge. It's your boy On Site, podcast On Site with On Site. Got Pimpin to me. Thanks for coming out,
HHF,
brother.
baby.
HHF. We out.